Good evening guys, it's your bro Richie Rich here again. Tonight this video is now an extended video of the previous Saleen video. So apologies for the sleeps rolled ups because I did some workouts, warm-ups. So it's gonna take time, but I got this. Don't worry, I can do this. So, and also I'll be doing more when I'm away. So and also I'm not sure if I'll do videos when I'm in Latvia because I'll be going there at the end of the month, somewhere in there. But I don't know though. I'll see what process, like what plan I can manage to do, or I might just wait till I get back. I don't really know 100% sure, but I'll see what I can do. Anyways, so moving on. So this is not an extended video of the previous Saleen video. So I'm still on the 1990. So I'm still on the Saleens from the 90s. So let's continue from where we left off. So in 1995, Steve Saleen teamed up with comedian Tim Allen. So Tim Allen who is an American actor and comedian, born June 13th, 1953, age 72, from Denver, Colorado. For those who don't know who he is, he's an American actor and comedian known for playing Tim the Toolman. So Tim the Toolman is his middle name, Taylor, on the ABC sitcom Home Improvement from 91 to 99, for which he won a Golden Globe Award, and Mike Baxter, GGA, Golden Globe Award, and Mike Baxter on the Mike Baxter on the ABC slash Fox sitcom LMS, Last Man Standing, 2011 to 2021. Say 2011 to 2021. So for 10 years, a whole decade. Here's a little Easter egg for all you youngsters out there, for all you kids watching this. So he voices Buzz Lightyear, actually. Buzz Lightyear for the Toy Story franchise, 1995 and onwards. And this year, the 5th installment will be out somewhere around there. I don't know, but somewhere around June, I think, July. I can't really remember, but at some point in the near future, somewhere around there in the next couple months, it should be around. I don't know. So for the Toy Story franchise from 1995 and onwards, for which he won an Annie Award and played Scott Calvin and Santa Claus in the Santa Claus franchise. It's the word clause with an E at the end. So franchise from 1994 to 2023. And his other films include 1997's Jungle to Jungle, 1999's Galaxy Quest, 1999's Galaxy Quest, 2001's Joe Somebody, 2001's Joe Somebody, 2002's Big Trouble, 2004's Christmas and Cranks, so with a K at the start, not C. 2006, The Shaggy Dog, 2007's Wild Hogs, 2009's The Six Wives of Henry LeFay, LEFAY, so 2009, and 2010's Crazy on the Outside. So in 1995, Steve Saleen teamed up with comedian Tim Allen and formed the Saleen Allen Triple RRR Speed Lab race team. Um, in 1997, so during the late 90s, so in 1997, Saleen introduced a Saleen Contour concept and an SUV, the Saleen XP8 Explorer. In the late 90s, the company founded in 1984 was resurrected and be, was resurrected and be, was resurrected and became Saleen Incorporated. Next next is the 2000s. In 2000, Saleen in 2000 Saleen introduced so in 2000, the year before the first Fast and Furious, a year before the first Fast and Furious movie was actually released, in 2000, Saleen introduced its flagship. Saleen introduced its flagship. Saleen introduced its flagship vehicle, the Saleen S7, the Saleen S7 supercar. The S7's a mid-motored, so the S7's a mid-motor, so a mid-motor high-performance sports car, well, supercar technically. That was initially priced at just under $400,000. That was what a Ford GT would have cost, 2017 version, obviously. So priced at just under $400,000. Expensive for a supercar like that. $400,000. Unbelievable. So $400,000. The S7 won four different GT championships in 2001, and has destroyed records at the prestigious 24 Hours of Le Mans race. The S7 was Saleen's only production car. Only production car not based on an either existing design or chassis. In 2001, Saleen moved its production facilities out to a new 100,000 square foot facility in Irvine, so in the plant city of Irvine in Orange County, California, in the LA metropolitan area. So population of June last year was 318,629 people. Almost 320,000 people last year. That is a lot. So So in 2001, Saleen moved its production facilities to a new 100,000 square foot facility in Irvine, Orange County, California. Wait, let me double check. Where is it? In the LA metropolitan area, Irvine, Orange County, California, in the Los Angeles metropolitan area. A year later, in 2002, Saleen's awarded both the So in 2002, Saleen's awarded both the assembly and paint contract. So assembly and paint contract for the new GT sports car, or supercar. For the new in 2002, Saleen's awarded both the assembly and paint contract for the new Ford sports car, or supercar. the Ford GT. This effectively made Saleen uh, a Tier 1 or Tier 1, I don't know how you call it. Tier 1 is spelled Tier. Tier 1, I'll just call it Tier 1. Tier 1, Tier 1 supplier to the FMC, Ford Motor Company. A year later in 2003, Saleen set up a special both manufacturing and licensing agreement, manufacturing and licensing agreement for distribution of Saleen vehicles in Canada. uh, so in Canada, a year later in 2004, Saleen expanded both its operations and manufacturing to an additional 200 203,000 square foot facility in the city of Troy, Oakland County, Michigan, northern suburb of Detroit, located about 15 miles north of downtown Detroit. So yeah, square foot, so 203,000 square foot facility in Troy, Michigan. The new $15 million production facility. So $15 million production facility. In $15 million production facility. Included both a high tech paint facility, and assembly line where Saleen produced the GT under contract from FMC. In 2005, global distributions expanded to include Japan under a new partnership with a its capital's Tokyo-based importer. So Tokyo-based importer. A year later in 2005, year I was born, global distributions expanded to include Japan. Uh, under a new partnership with a Toyota-based importer. A year later in 2006, Saleen opened its first own branded retail store, uh, in an outdoor shopping mall or shopping center, whatever. So shopping mall in Irvine, California, Orange County. The showrooms described as a unique shopping experience. So the showrooms described as a unique shopping experience for selling parts, parts, and apparel. A year later, in 2007, Saleen began working with Chrysler, and supplied all the paintwork for the new Viper. For the new Viper, the reason I just do that is because I just hate Chrysler. It's just so damn dull and boring and just crap. It's just terrible. I mean, I always hate Chrysler. I'd rather walk away than I was to drive one. Trust me, I would just walk away. If I see a Chrysler, I just walk away instantly. Just literally. If you're going with here's a little advice for me. If you're going with any American muscle car, my advice is avoid Chrysler at all times because they're just dreadful. Trust me, like you will feel much better if you just avoid Chrysler. Go with any other muscle car, Mustangs, Chargers, Challengers, Camaros, Corvettes, Vipers. Wait, that's kind of a supercar, but it's part of the American muscle car brand. Monte Carlo, anything that is just perfect, Chevelle, Belvedere, probably Chevy Nova, anything that's just outright cool. Maybe a Ford Falcon or I don't know, Ford GT, uh, Coronet Super B, anything, but just avoid Chrysler because they're just so terrible. Anyways, moving on. So, where is it? In 2007, Saleen began working with. So in 2007, Saleen began working with Chrysler, and supplied all the paintwork for the new Viper. 2 years later, in 2009, the end of the 2000s, Saleen released the SMS 570 Challenger. Next, my most favorite one, 2010 and onwards. The 2010s was just outright perfect. They were just brilliant. I mean, everything, it just looked so modernized. Even today, just, I'll admit it, it is old and yeah, but still, when you look at it now, you just see how modernized it just kind of look. Even though, yeah, it just is a bit out of, it is a bit outdated, and yeah, it is old, and future tech is now happening, 2020s and all that, but the 2010s was where it really all started, with everything that just made everything modernized and how cool it was. I just find the 2010s much better. Do you guys agree? Let me know in the comments if you think the 2010s were just perfect. No, I totally understand. Some 2010s are good, but at the same time they're, yeah, it depends really. I mean, for me, 2010s was just outright perfect. Even though I don't know much about the 2010s from the past, like the early ones, but at the same time, it was pretty cool. It was worth it. Anyways, so moving on, 2010 and onwards. So in 2010, 2011, in 2010, 2011. So in 2010, the start of very early 2010s, obviously. 2011, so brand new 2011 Saleen Mustangs, it's a Saleen Saleen Mustangs were made in Detroit by Revstone, the company that both uh, purchased and legally produced uh, 42 Saleens, 40, 42 Saleens those years. Steve Saleen he was selling Mustangs. He was selling Mustangs under the he was selling Mustangs. He was selling Mustangs. He was selling Mustangs under the SMS name. Say name. As he didn't. So he did not. So he didn't legally own the name Saleen. At the end of 2011, uh, at that time, the new Born to Race movie was released. Just at the end of 2011, end of December 2011, it was released back then. So at the end of 2011, before the start of very early 2012. So before the start of very early 2012, an agreement was reached by Ford. So by Ford, uh, so Ford, Revstone, and Steve Saleen himself, to let him start producing under to let him start producing under the Saleen name again. On June 26th, 2013, a month after the brand new Fury 6 movie was out, Paul Walker's full final Fast and Furious movie during Furious 7, where he passed away November 30th, 2013, during like half of production of Furious 7, which he completed. May rest in peace. God rest his soul. Say God rest his soul. So on June 26th, so around late June 2013, during mid 2013, obviously, Saleen became public throughout a reverse merger It was listed on the OTC bulletin board, and it's both controlled and so and it's both controlled and majority owned owned by Steve Saleen. Later that year in 2013, the Saleen manufacturing, research and development, operations, manufacturing, research and development, and also paint, painting facilities were announced to be consolidated to a 4-acre campus in southern 4-acre campus in Southern California. So 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 4-acre campus in Southern California. A year later in 2014, Saleen enters into an agreement. So an agreement. So in 2014, the year the new Need for Speed movie was actually released. So in 2014, the year the new Need for Speed movie was released, Saleen entered. So in 2014, the year the new Need for Speed movie was released. In 2014, the year the new Need for Speed movie was released, Saleen entered into an agreement to expand vehicle distribution to include China. In August 2014, so August 2014, Saleen unveiled an all-electric performance model, the 416, which is essentially a tuned version of the Tesla Model S. Literally, if you search up Saleen 416, you would see the difference between that and a Tesla Model S. You would see the complete difference. That's the same body shape and styling. The only difference is some minor details to it. It's a little bit different to a Tesla, but you see what it looks like. So if you search up Saleen and the letters 416, like the numbers, but in letters, in the letter formation, you would see what it looks like. You compare that to a Tesla Model S, you would see the complete difference in this. They look exactly the same, but with just some minor differences to it. Like with the detailing and the looks and everything else, you would see how different and like how similar these two vehicles are compared together. Say in August 2014, Saleen unveiled an all-electric performance model, the 416, a tuned version of the Tesla Model S. By the end of 2014, the company was in significant debt and on the verge of bankruptcy. During 2015, which is a pretty cool year, honestly. 2015 was pretty damn good. Think about like movies, music, cars, everything. It was so damn cool. Anyways, during 2015, in an attempt to raise money, so like to make more money, the company offered a Saleen Mustang to investors who put up more than $1 million in capital. The company settled the lawsuit. The company settled the lawsuit. The company settled a lawsuit with a journalist critical of their business records. Not records, sorry. Journalist critical of their business models. Sorry, getting a bit tired on that, but I'll try to finish this as much as I can. So journalist critical of their business models. Journalists critical of their business of their journalists critical of their business models. The SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, revoked the registration. So they took away the registration of Saleen's securities on October 12th, 2017. It was a month after I started high school, well, secondary school, seventh grade, year seven. The year Fast 8 was released, and when the new Ford GT was released, and all that kind of stuff. Same music, movies, cars, every single thing. So yeah, the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, revoked the registration of Saleen's securities on October 12th, 2017. The company reverted to being privately held at the time. In 2022, brilliant year was. Electric. It's like saying electric, but without the I and the C at the end, it's replaced with an E and a K, and you get electric. Reported that Saleen's seeking small seeking small investors with a minimum of seeking small investors with a minimum of just $500 to invest in the company. So to invest in the company, uh, and that as of September 2021, the year I started my final year of high school, and where we didn't need to wear masks. It was just a relief. So and that as of September 2021, Saleen had only $14,000 cash on hand. So it's a little bit over 10 grand. So less than 15 grand. It's less than 15, 1 5, so $15,000 on hand. Which is not really much. I mean, it's a lot, but not too much though. For those wondering what electric means, it's spelled ELEC. So ELECTREK. It's an American news website dedicated to both electric transportation and sustainable energy. So electric transportation and sustainable energy. Uh, as of 2018, Electric's known for its extensive positive coverage of electric transportation in general and Tesla specifically. Their positive coverage of Tesla has been criticized by has been criticized by have has been criticized by some automotive journalists. It its main authors have disclosed ownership of Tesla stock, substantial profit from referrals to Tesla, and ownership of Tesla cars. The owner, Seth Weintraub, also disclosed near total divestment from Tesla stock on January 14th, 2020. This when COVID first struck the world. This was 11 months before my 15th birthday. And damn. For those who don't know who Seth Weintraub is, he's an American journalist and engineer. He founded the 9 to 5 network of tech blogs, 9 to 5 Mac, 9 to 5 Google, 9 to 5 Toys, Drone DJ, and Electric. Just sounds like I'm saying electric. Yeah, it just sounds a little bit weird when I'm saying it, but oh well. Anyways, so in 2022, Electric reported that Saleen seeking small investors with a minimum of $500 to invest in the company, and that as of so $500 to invest in the company, and that as of September 2021, Saleen had only 14 grand on hand. Next is the Jiangsu Saleen Automotive Technology. So we got 2017-19. So in 2017, Saleen and his business partner, Charlie Wang, Xiaoling Wang in Chinese, formed a joint venture of formed a joint venture with Rogao, China, a city 107 miles northwest of Shanghai in the Jiangsu province, creating a company named JSAT, known as Jiangsu Saleen Automotive Technology or Tech. So in Rogao, with Charlie Wang as chairman, CEO, and chairman, CEO, and majority owner of the company. He was a lawyer who had worked at God, forgive me. I'm gonna try to spell this out. Cadwallader, Wickersham, and so Cadwallader, Wickersham, so Cadwallader, Wickersham, and so Cadwallader, Wickersham, and so Cadwallader, Wickersham, and Taft, from which he abruptly resigned, and then was CEO of HKM, Hybrid Kinetic Motors, before its owner, Yang Rong. It's the word Rong, but with a capital R, and it took out the letter W. So Yang Rong sued him. That's right, sued him for reissuing shares. Not reissuing, sorry, reissuing shares of the company under Charlie's own control, and subsequently founded and was CEO of GTA, not Grand Theft Auto, but Green Tech, Automotive, before it went bankrupt. Only Nantong Jiahe, I can't pronounce the last name correctly, but it's spelled Jiahe, a state-owned shareholder invested in Saleen automobile, and invested 3.4 billion CNU. I don't know what that is in the Chinese currency. I'm not 100% sure, but that's an equivalent of $481.3 million. That's $481,300,000. That's a lot of money they invested, and owned 34 percent of the company. So 34% of the company. The other four shareholders of the company were shell companies controlled by Charlie. The companies to both produce and distribute Saleen cars in China for the Chinese market. CEO Charlie said, this is when the quote ends. So we have adopted highly efficient intelligent production which will make us one of the very few to do so in China, and that the company would produce all sorts of passenger cars, including sedans, SUVs, and crossovers. He's he said that he wanted to he said that he wanted to turn the company into a brand rivaling into a brand rivaling Porsche. So brand rivaling Porsche. It sounds like to have like Porsche as its main rival or something. I don't know that. Or something like that. I don't know. The government provided the government provided uh incentives. The government provided incentives. So the government provided incentives, and the company. Hold on. I'll be back in a minute. Don't worry. Alright, back. So like he said, so moving on. So he said that he wanted to turn the company into a brand rivaling Porsche. The government the government provided um, incentives, and the company received. So the government gold, bronze, bracelet. Got to fix this. So I'll just talk while I'm fixing this. So the government provided incentives, and company. So the government provided. Yeah, putting this on as a crooked pain in the backside. Wait, hang on. Wait. We got it. Yes. There we go. Much better. A little scuffed up, but whatever. Anyways, so the government provided. So he said that he wanted to turn the company into a brand rivaling Porsche. The government provided incentives. The government provided incentives. Uh, the government provided incentives, and the company received capital that reportedly enabled the company to invest 17.8 billion yuan. I don't know how you pronounce that, but it's spelled YUAN, which is an equivalent of $2.5 billion. So $2.5 billion in a first factory, which Charlie said would have the capacity to produce 150,000 cars annually. The company, 150,000 cars annually. The company then acquired an extra 4 billion won. I don't know what that is in dollars. Presumably it might be, I'd say 100,000, 200,000, maybe 500,000. I don't know. So 4 billion yuan, and invested 4 billion yuan and invested in another and 4 billion yuan and invested in another factory. So 4 billion yuan and 4 billion yuan and invested in another factory nearby, which Charlie said would produce 50,000 pure electric cars. And 20,000 supercars annually. The CEO Charlie said, I'll do this when the quote ends. Among all EV manufacturers and EV manufacture all among all EV manufacturers among all EV manufacturers in China, We are the most effective. We have rich experience in financial con- in fi- we have rich experience in financial control. In 2019, the Chinese joint venture presented an updated version of the Saleen S7 called the S7 Le Mans at an event which featured actor Jason Statham at the Bird's Nest Stadium in China's capital, Beijing. In addition to their American sports car, the company also promoted a few the company also promoted a few Rugao built cars, including a crossover called the Mac or MAC. The company's only mass produced model only mass produced model uh, uh only mass produced model. Where is it? It's the only mass produced model uh that it sold was the low end pure electric microcar called the My. It's called a My with a max My with a maximum speed of just 60. That's right, 60 miles an hour, and a new Euro driving cycle range of 305 kilometers, which was introduced in 2019, the end of the 2010s. Only 27 had sold as of April 2021. So the start of the very early 2020s. So only 27 had sold as of April 2021. And only, so which was a good year. And only 31, so a little bit more. Well, just by four extra cars. So four extra cars. And only 31 as of May 2022, the year I finished high school. Well, secondary school, we all pretty much had. It was priced at just $24,000, which is pretty cheap, and had been built. It had been built as a cost of $751 million. Just expensive. Just honestly, it's just nuts. Okay, last up is 2020 and onwards, and I'll just end it there. Call it night. So 2020 onwards. So in February 2020, before COVID even struck. So in February 2020, before COVID even struck, the company's new Rogao factory factories closed in April 2020. So 2 months late. So 2 months 2 months later, uh uh Xiao Yongdong I can't pronounce it. But first name is spelled uh Q. So first name is spelled Q U. First name is spelled Q U I. So not you. Sorry. Q I. Sorry. QIAO. Last name is spelled Y. Last name is spelled YUDONG. So in April 2020. So in April 2020, Xiao Yongdong. First name spelled Q. So QIAO. So QIAO. Last name is spelled YUDONG. The former senior legal manager at Saleen said that Charles Wang, company chairman, had made false claims about technology, false claim about tech investment, and had embezzled million millions of dollars from the state, uh, by inflating infl- inflating inflating the costs, inflating the costs of so-called car making technologies. Xiao said that Wang uh, invest inflated the costs of two car making technologies valued at just car making technologies valued at $500,000 and $20 million to 826 million. So $826 million and $1.1 billion, which is 1 billion 100, so 1 billion 100 million dollars, and then traded them for 283.2, so 283 million, 283 million, 200, so 283 million, $200,000 in cash, and also transferred them uh, into equity ownership, reducing the ownership interests, uh, reducing the ownership interests of state-owned investors. The one third, so the 33.3% investor Nantong Jiahe conducted a financial audit, and suspected Wang of suspected Wang of providing false documents and exploiting his position as a CEO to steal exploiting his position as CEO to steal large amounts of cash, uh, large amounts of cash. The administrative committee of the Jiangsu Rugao economic, so Jiangsu Rugao economic, and so Jiangsu Rugao economic and technological development zone, or TDZ, said the state investor then reported the matter to the cops, which accepted the complaint. In June 2020, a few months before I go back to high school wearing masks, in June 2020, the Nantong Intermediate so NIPC, so Nantong Intermediate People's Court in China, seized all the company's assets, closed so seized all the company's assets, closed two Saleen Auto local facilities, froze the equity of four shell companies owned by Wang, that in turn were co-owners of Saleen Auto, expelled all of the company's foreign employees, froze the company's bank accounts, so froze the company's bank accounts, and so froze the company's bank accounts, and closed Saleen Auto's Shanghai branch 8 months, over half a year after it had been opened. The Chinese government said that Charlie embezzled nearly $1 billion in state funds. Charlie then absconded to the States in July 2020. during the mid 2020 during COVID. Uh, so in July 2020, Charlie said that he had in July 2020, Charlie said that he had returned back to my good old business as both a lawyer and a law professor, and that the developments with the company's persecution, though he didn't name his persecutors, he also didn't say when he would return to China. That month he also sued the joint joint ventures China partner in Hong Kong, alleging it had breached a joint venture agreement and owned 42.8 or $43 million. The uh, Nantong Intermediate Nantong Intermediate uh, Intermediate People's Court put the so the Nantong Intermediate People's Court put the company up for auction on May 30th, 2022. It was a decade, so 10 years after the Big Bird Fast and Furious 1, Leon's R33 GTR was crushed. So yeah, for auction on May 30th, 2022, including the company's uncompleted, so non-completed, the company's non-completed production facility in Rogao that was supposed to be completed in 2019, so the end of the 2010s, and be able to produce 150,000 cars per year. Whew, Jesus, that is a lot. Alright, so that'll be it for now. So for my next Saleen video, will be about the products. Okay, so that'll be it. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Good night.